This is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 936. I am Brian Kilby. Radio Free Cybertron is the world's first and oldest toy and action figure podcast since 1999. With me this week, we have Don. I'm going to go with Don, whose fan I can't hear.
Okay.
Which is me answering Don's chat in our internal Zoom conversation, like slyly under the radar and nobody noticed. Yes, Don, how's it going?
I'm very tired because I have been doing one project most all day, and I am very tired at this point. So
I've got good news for you. I'm going to buy a trailer for my backyard that you and Diecast can live in together.
how is that good? How is that good news?
Awesome.
I don't see how that could be any kind
It's
of good
excellent news for the rest of us.
I love this idea. Diecast.
We definitely need like cameras everywhere.
Yes, it'll be like the Real World or something.
Excellent.
Yeah,
for
no, it'll
podcast
be
content.
Survivor.
Survivor, yeah.
No, if Diecast pisses me off, it'll be the Amazing Race.
Sweet. Yeah, that's true. Hey, Matt, how's it going?
It is going.
Well, that is great. Chris?
I love that Don tried to be quiet and subtle about not interject into the show about his potential fan noise, and you just come in and with the introduction and bring that into focus. It's like if you two have gotten your polarities reversed here.
I know, right? So, can you guys hear my back massager?
I mean, I'm just gonna say yes to screw with you.
Okay. So, I was going through my storage building. John, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, especially now that I know that you're having a back massage over the course of the next hour and a half.
Yeah, I was doing it last night during the There Goes My Money podcast I recorded with Chris. We'll talk about that in a second. Rob, how are you doing?
Not bad. Can you hear my fan?
No, I can't.
Good.
So
But you ride your mute really well.
Yeah, that's true. So I had this thing in the storage, where all my toys are at, and I was looking at it. And I'm like, why is this in storage? I can use this now. So, because it was in storage because it was attached to another chair. So it went yoink, yoink, pop, and I took it off and I brought it home, and it's been the best decision I've made. This is great. What, doing a little shiatsu massage, and it's heated. It's wonderful.
Meanwhile, you said yoink yoink pop, and I'm just thinking this is a really weird Alka-Seltzer commercial.
That's true. Hey, yeah. So I was on There Goes My Money last night. This will go up in a week or two, something like that.
I'm gonna try to get it edited tomorrow, and then I'll send it to you, and then it's your problem when it goes up.
Okay, sweet. So for our patrons right now, we have a twofer posted from late March, early April in our little catch up here.
Yeah, so Brian and I have talked about this. We do have not a ton of backlog episodes, but some months worth of backlog episodes. And basically what we're going to do is break them down into chunks by the month they were recorded in and release them in that format. So the content's a little out of date, but if you just want to hear us sit around talking about that stuff, and it's always fun to hear us talk about the stuff that we got over that period of time. So
Absolutely.
that's all going to be out there, and you can just kind of if you can set that up on your car MP3 player or whatever, and just do chunks of that through your whole you can do chunks of that through your whole commute back and forth to work for a week.
Yeah, burn it to CD, burn it to MP3 CD, and listen to it in your MP3 enabled Discman. So I have more.
I used to do that.
Yeah. The people used to do that. Listen to RFC that way back in the day. So I have more episodes of Hot 5 in the backlog than you have of There Goes My Money. So don't feel bad.
That's okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to be doing the same. Rob dutifully kept all of the files. So I'm going in and I'll be catching those up. I'll probably post that in a batch of about 3.
I'm a data hoarder.
Thank you for doing that. But yeah, so it was a lot of fun, and there was a lot of talking over, Chris. That's going to be a lot of editing. So it's a miracle what you do with that. But it was really fun to do that with the patrons.
So Brian, it was a miracle you got that flying junk pile stabilized.
So it was really fun, and it was really nice to get to meet some folks like Nathan for the first time, Mike, Sean, never met him before. That guy's new, never heard of him. So Yeah, that was pretty great. So
It's a shame. It's a shame David Mollis Koenig was not able to join us last
Yes.
night because you and him would get along pretty well too. I think.
yeah, well, I'll have to be on in another episode.
Yeah. Well, just do something stupid again, and
I was on because I did something stupid, and like,
more on that later.
yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Not much later though.
Not much later. Let's jump into the news. Oh, this reminds me of something I'm going to get next week. No official U.S. distributor of Blokees Galaxy Defender Devastator combiner parts.
So the smaller scale Blokees figures, that's the Galaxy Defender series. They've been releasing vehicle mode Constructicons in those assortments,
Yeah.
one or two at a time, and like ever since the first one or two came out, people have been kind of already realizing that yeah, these can kind of move in ways that you could theoretically build them into a Devastator with enough extra pieces. So those combiner parts are going to be released in mainland China. I think through like a mailing list club kind of thing that the Blokees manufacturer has. Like it's a like mail away premium thing for them. Show Z store, as I understand, has secured a quantity of that themselves to sell online. So there is a few of those that are going to be available that way, but some people emailed Blokees and got an official response on this. For US distribution, there is going to be no official channel for those combiner parts for the Devastator because as the email says that the copyright holder will not allow it. So apparently it's Hasbro who is blocking the Blokees from actually being able to be Devastator for whatever particular reason they might have for that.
Yeah, I have no idea. That's just so weird.
Yeah,
Wonder-
it's disappointing for sure. Sorry, Rob, go ahead.
I wonder if that's one of the that is just close enough to fall under that third, a licensee toys cannot be transforming toys issue that has come up before.
You're muted, Don.
You're still muted,
Sorry.
Don.
Sorry. That happened with the Heat Boys Leonardo that transformed in the turtle van. That could not be imported to the U.S. because of copyright issues.
So
Was
was
that-
the
is
Heat
that-
Boys Leonardo a licensed Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles toy?
Was it
I
a li-
believe it was. I believe it was.
Is this a
licensed.
Hasbro license?
No, it's Playmates, but
Then-
I'm still saying. But I'm just saying it's not just Hasbro. It doesn't just happen to Hasbro.
I guess that the Heat Boys Leonardo thing turned into a turtle van, and it was close enough to when Party Wallop was released, like Playmates and Hasbro themselves could have had a back and forth about that, about not coming
Yeah,
out in the
I'm
US.
just saying it's
Yeah.
Like
not just,
Don may not be entirely like up the garden path on this, but I don't know the exact timetable of
Well,
those two toys.
I'm just saying it does happen on other products outside the Hasbro, so it may happen on your favorite line. You never know.
Yeah.
Rob might be onto something, but if that was the case, like Blokees is a licensed Transformers product. Hasbro signs off on that. So it still would be weird that those parts would be able to be released in any format in China if it was running afoul of that licensing restriction.
Yeah, that's true. I wonder if. Okay, I wonder if there's like some kind of restriction about just releasing like accessory packs that are not like a full like complete figure or something like that. I don't know, but
Yeah, it's really weird. Mostly though, like the particulars of this are basically unknowable to us at this point. But like I know a lot of people have been working on getting those little Constructicons together for this eventual purpose. I wanted to get the information out there that like go check with Show Z store, or other potential channels out of China. It's depending where you're going through, of course, there's going to be like import duties on getting some of those sets shipped in now. But like, if that's something that you're wanting to do, now is the time to go and pursue how to get those from the Chinese release, because
Yeah.
it's going to be a lot more expensive later if you can find somebody selling them at all.
It seems like a lot of work to me because you need to buy several blocky sets to get all of these, and then you have to buy the combiner parts. It's just like, for me, it's not worth it. But if you want it, go get it.
Yeah, like it was a neat thing they were doing. I'm glad I didn't ever like give much thought into getting into making the little Constructicon set at this point, because like I'd be a bit bummed, honestly, if I had gone to as much effort as it would have taken up to this point,
Yeah.
and then had the rug basically pulled out from under me on it at the very end.
Honestly, I'm kind of ignorant to all this blocky stuff. I've only picked up what they've had at Walmart. I had no idea that the Blockies online store existed and that you can buy basically everything through them. Had no idea.
It's dangerous knowledge. Yes, Don?
Yeah. According to Show Z, the Blokees Transformer Galaxy Defender version Chapter 3 Devastator combining accessory was $15 and is sold out, but you can put an availability notice up if you have an account.
Okay. Cool.
So it may be too late.
Yeah. Okay.
Sad trombone.
This is the kind of thing, though, that I could see if Blokees like is working on U.S. distribution in specific. This is the kind of thing I could see them doing like in a like single pack as like an SDCC exclusive, and that might fly.
Yeah, special
Maybe.
format box set. Like I would hope to see something like that maybe come out of this.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
love to see that.
Yeah, that'd be great. Okay. We talked about this on There Goes My Money.
Yeah.
Yesterday, the Infantry Cross Transformers watches. So these are blind box watches that you could pay $50 for or $60 to buy the one that you want. Apparently, Chris, you said these were originally $35. And
Yeah, so the premium price for these when these were solicited last July, I believe, they were $49 then. So the price has gone up. And I guessed it was the blind box price at the time that was $35.
now it's 50. Why would
yeah.
the price go up? I have no
Yeah,
idea.
I don't know.
Yeah, so according to a friend, I asked him what he
Oh,
knew
yeah.
about these, and he didn't have. He was just speculation. He's like, I don't know this brand, but they're probably like Chinese clones of like Swiss watches or Japanese watches. So like the movement in them, like, so if that means anything to you, he's assuming that they are Chinese clones of like basically you go to Temu and you can buy like clones of anything or whatever, or AliExpress. It's probably something like that.
It looks
Well-
like a standard watch to me.
I like
it's-
them. I like which one? I like the Optimus one.
I'm more digging the like Megatron and Bumblebee ones because like
He's
the
purple.
designs are more subtle on those. Like those are watches you could just wear around and people wouldn't immediately catch on that, oh, you're wearing a Transformers watch, but like, it's there if you look closer at it. Like I kind of like when they can fly under the radar a little bit, but you still you're flying the colors a little bit.
Yeah. Well, when I went to the website, it gave me the option of getting 10% off with my email sign up. So if you like it, you can save 10%, apparently.
Yeah. So Don, you buying one?
Nope.
Okay.
I have what my wife got me for Christmas, so I don't need another watch.
Oh yeah.
What did she get you for Christmas?
Galaxy 4 watch.
Oh, okay. I forgot about that. That's cool. That's a good watch. Sweet. Okay. This is going to be short. Anything else? Okay.
I still think blind box watches are a weird idea, but watch collectors.
Yeah. So I'm going to read this as Chris wrote it. The Pictures of Toys show.
I almost just went ahead and put that in as the episode title when I was doing the show notes, but I figured, we'll let it happen organically.
Yeah. So comic edition Hearts of Steel Optimus and Starscream 2-pack.
I want to go. I need to open this up again and see. I saw a picture earlier today. It might be in here of the Hearts of Steel Optimus. Right? Yeah, it's down at the bottom of the gallery. The train Optimus on the back of Studio Series 86 cab. Like that's how small it is. The cab with no trailer. That little train can just fit right on top of the back end of that completely.
Yeah, it looks like Starscream's getting most of the mass in that set. And even that may not be by much. I still think they look great. I still think they really capture the Heart of Steel aesthetics. And they're a lot less dangerous than the third-party versions that are very, very sharp and will cut you.
I have the MMC Night Morpher Annihilator, which that was MMC's second full produced figure. Nightmare for Commander was their first, and that notoriously had like huge QC problems and assembly issues. Annihilator was their first version of that mold that addressed and fixed all of that, and then after that they went back and re-released Commander again. Like, it's obviously a toy very early in someone's process of engineering a Transformers style figure. But like, especially for the time it came out, which was like 2011 or so, I want to say, somewhere around there, like, it's always been a fairly nice piece for an early third party full figure. And like, for the longest time, that was my stand-in for a The Fallen, because like, a cast iron black steam engine is like the closest thing you can get to a vehicle form burning furnace. So like, it fit the bill perfectly. I love that toy a lot for a lot of reasons, but like, yeah, it may not like fully epitomize the sharp edges and piercing corners of a lot of those third party figures, but like, it's definitely got its strong points, if we want to extend the metaphor a little bit. Like, I don't know that I would buy a Nemesis Colors version of this official Hearts of Steel mold. I think it would probably look better than this Optimus does, even with the Thomas the Tank Engine proportions that this mold has going on. But like, it's so small and so squished, and it's just like, the
only thing
it bothers me so much. I think I said when we first saw the pictures. Sorry, Don, I'll let you go in just a second.
That's fine.
I think I said when we first saw the pictures, it's like a toy of a toy train. Like, it's two steps into being a toy design, and it's pushed too far into that direction. I can't take it seriously when I look at it.
Yeah, I mean, I said this when it first came out. It needs a coal tender. It needs that extra mass of the coal tender to make it a prime. The only thing is, you'll probably get that Nemesis version if they decide to do this as a Skywarp or a Thundercracker. You'll get other colors of this, because I'm going to have to think these two are being gang molded together to some degree. Like the gold on Optimus could be the same gold on Starscream on that sprue.
The gold is paint. I can tell just by looking at the picture that the gold on there is just painted on. Like, the gray for the thighs and the biceps on Optimus could be some of the same nylon gray that's on Starscream. Like, it's possible.
Yeah,
I would really tend to think, though, that for future repaint potential, like, they would probably prefer to do a Skywarp and Thundercracker 2-pack by themselves instead of having to lump more locomotives in with that. So they probably have these split from each other at least enough where if they do want to run just one of these molds, they're not doing like one or two whole runners of waste parts that they have to throw out or recycle.
Yeah, you're right, because I didn't think about that. I figured they would be kind of, but with them trying to get more use out of every mold, and they're going to find a way to do Skyward and Thundercracker. It's just it's a seeker set, and it's easy money. And anyone that likes Hearts of Steel is going to get all three seekers. Anyone who likes seekers is going to get all three. But I would like to see a third party do a coal tender for this Optimus, but I don't know if we'll see it or not.
So, like, when you said about coal tender for this to increase the mass, like, the gears started turning in my head immediately, and like, what I would love to see come out of this is, have a coal tender thing that turns into a power armor, and have Hearts of Steel Ultra Magnus out of that.
Oh dang, yeah.
Oh yeah, that would definitely be cool.
Like,
But if anyone does it, it would be just like a battle platform, like Optimus's original trailer. It'll be a gun. It'll probably like a cannon, like either a cannon or a early Gatling gun, something like that. Which I think would be cool.
Yeah, I mean, they're like, I guess it was more a World War II thing, but there were, rail platform mounted like howitzers.
Now I'm thinking about Mark Twain from Time's Arrow manning the Gatling gun with Optimus.
I think Clemens actually was in the Hearts of Steel comics.
He was. But it's specifically Time's Arrow Mark Twain that I'm thinking of for some reason.
A werewolf.
Love that two-parter.
Anybody else have anything to pitch in about the Hearts of Steel 2-pack here before we move on?
Well, just to speak to Don's, suggestion about them being gang molded, I don't think Starscream's forearms are paint, and the blues are very different from Optimus Prime's. If they matched, I think he might be onto something there, but that is definitely a more Starscreamish sky blue.
Yeah.
I'm just I knew they were going to be small. I'll just say that I was taken aback by the size, because in one of those pics they compare it to Devastation Optimus. He is tiny. So I don't know. I wasn't really considering these before, but especially considering just how diminutive they are, I don't think they're for me.
I would I would honestly love to see like Train Prime's vehicle mode just hanging out in a photo with a bunch of rescue bots. I have a feeling that would just work.
Yeah, actually. I could see that. And like I think to Don's point before, more than a coal tender from a third party, I think I just want like a chess piece replacement that is a Thomas the Tank Engine style face to just slap on there. Like, it doesn't even have to be like an actual Thomas style face. Like, have it be an Optimus Prime face plated face, but you slap it on there like it's a Thomas. Like, just have Thomas Universe Optimus Prime like that with the full faceplate and everything.
Yeah.
If there is a coal tender in works by third party, they need to add rollers, one of those little, push cars that have,
Yes.
Yeah,
like
blazing saddles, like from
Yeah.
Blazing
Yes.
Saddles.
Or in like half the Roadrunner cartoons.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
So let's see. We also got some in-hand pictures of Studio Series Mixmaster. These are collected from 2 eBay listings, but we get a pretty good overview of the toy from them.
He looks great.
I mean, it definitely looks like Mixmaster.
Yeah. I mean, obviously they, even though this whole set, they're pulling a lot from the Combiner Wars Devastator. I'm glad they didn't put their foot in their mouth and give us the wrong foot this time.
Damn it, Don.
Sorry. But well, sorry, not sorry. But I mean, as much as I really didn't mind it on the Combiner Wars version, I'm really glad this version's going to have the right feet.
Like,
Foot.
there's the damn it, Don. There's a picture in here of the vehicle modes of the Studio Series Mixmaster and the Combiner Wars one, and like I understand, and it is like a more modern, realistic cement mixer truck, the Combiner Wars one, but I can't help but look at the two side by side and think, huh, this photographer put Combiner Wars Mixmaster in here backwards.
Yeah.
It's what it looks like.
Right. Right. And and here's something I thought of when I first saw these pictures. We've already gotten 3 GoBots from the earlier. If this thing, with Mixmaster being a standalone figure and not part of the set, that's a blockhead. You could do him as blockhead if you wanted to.
You can't just call somebody that to their face, Don.
No, that's the GoBot's name is Blockhead, and he's a GoBot cement mixer. So we could be looking at another potential GoBot recolor. Not perfect, but the first pack wasn't completely perfect, but they were super good. So
There's 2 things that I don't like about this Mixmaster.
Oh, you're probably going to say what I was going to say. Go ahead.
No, I want to. You tell me. I want to see if we're on the same page about one of these.
Okay, the arms hanging off the back in leg mode.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's my number. That's my number. That's my number 2 problem.
yeah, that bugs me too.
Yeah, I that's all I can really pick up on it for me.
And
Yeah,
now,
so like that, like I know they've got to economize the engineering on this because of like the internal stuff it has to do to hold up the Devastator weight later, but like it just feels like that is such a. There should have been something, anything else, even just a double hinge on that elbow to fold those straight back so they're not just pointing off at an angle. Because I've seen a photo of the instructions that come with the long haul and hook set, and the instructions literally tell you to do that with Mixmaster's arms when you're putting it in combiner mode.
Yeah, I don't like that, and that means we're going to need a third party to do an arm upgrade for it.
well, now looking at it now, I'm not the toy engineer y'all are by any stretch of the imagination.
I'm not a toy engineer. I'm just an enthusiast.
Yes, but
I'm a
with
toy
the-
reverse engineer.
yeah, that's true. The way Mixmaster's arm has that panel at the bottom, like Scrapper's does, maybe it's possible that can tab into that small tab above the wheel for looks, and then you unhook it to release the ankle tilt. So it may be possible that can tab in to that small tab above the wheel, and then you just unhook it to release your ankle tilt.
I mean, even if that is the case, that's still bad design philosophy because, like, that part needs to do something that is the same whether you're trying to pose that joint or not. And if the only solution is to have that just sticking off the back at an angle like that when you want to have an ankle tilt going, like that's just they could have done something. There is a way to build a single hinge joint where it can fully double over on itself. One good example of that is the original Beast Wars Waspinator toy. Its elbows were able to do that with a single hinge. They could have done that here without adding extra parts count just by changing the shape of that elbow joint a little bit. So the other thing about this Mixmaster that I don't like is how tiny the mixer drum is on the back of the truck. Like, most of the mass of the vehicle mode is the cab section. It has to be a strong foot for the Devastator, but like it looks so disproportionate then with the back end being so small by comparison. That's one thing the Combiner Wars one got right. The drum on that was great big. It was much more similar to the proportions of the G1 toy, which is like that's what I would expect out of a modernized Devastator, is to have that be just as prominent. Like I understand for like physical space reasons that might not be possible, and it obviously was not within the budget they're working on. But like it looks very wrong to me in the vehicle mode because the cement drum is so small versus the size of the cab.
Yeah, I think that I think you might be right. I think it needs to be in the middle. The Combiner Wars one for me is a little bit too big.
Okay.
Me
But
too. It's too big.
I the arm is the worst. And you're
Yeah.
absolutely right. They could have engineered that, not adding extra any parts, and just made that be able to move back up and tab in behind the wheels. Because it looks like it could do it if they would have, engineered it right.
But that's just our armchair toy reverse engineering here.
Yeah, looking at them side by side in robot mode, I just don't like the Combiner Wars toy.
Like the Combiner Wars one, even with the Unite Warriors revisions that added elbows and guns to some of them, like Mixmaster, I think, was one of the most frowned upon, I will say politely, from that set for the choices made with it. And the robot mode of the new one looks, that looks totally fine. Like, if anything, it's kind of it's kind of a point in its favor that it feels so unremarkable in robot mode because that's just what G1 Mixmaster was. The most defining trait was the cement drum. If you're looking at it from the front, there's just, nothing going on there. So if we don't have anything else for these, I think we're ready to move on and talk about Hook and Long Haul next.
Do it.
Okay, let's talk about Hook and Long Haul next. It's
Why
funny
is Australia getting all these already? Like,
Well, now let's be fair, Diecast. Australia, Canada, and the UK get really screwed over on a lot of toys that we
well, they
take for
did
granted.
for a long time. It's
Yeah.
not nearly
It's
so
not-
much the case
it's
in the
not as
last
bad,
several
but-
years.
I don't fault them for getting stuff first because they went through so many years of not getting crap at all. So I don't begrudge them for having a little luck.
I feel like
Also-
for some reason, like larger sets seem to go through Australia first because
Mhm.
I wound up reviewing Power of the Prime's Predaking for T-Formers because Jack found it from an Australian distributor way earlier than anybody else had it. So
And by Titans, the Titans Return Fortress Maximus that I covered for T-Formers came from Australia. And in more recent years, it's been fairly routine to see the Commander-class toys hit Australia first. Our first pictures of Commander Rodimus came from an Australian fan who I think a lot of us followed on Twitter at the time too. And I remember Motormaster definitely hit Australia first. So like it's pretty true to form for how things have been going the last few years here.
Well, I think
I'm not saying that they shouldn't. I'm just saying I'm jealous. That's
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, sure.
But I
Fair
think the
enough.
reason those larger figures hit Australia first is because they know they'll sell because people buy them so they can beat up the 95% of the wildlife that's trying to kill everybody. So it's more blunt weapons for everybody to have available.
I think it'd be better to just have a heavier shoe.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, we've got pictures in hand of the Hook and Long Haul 2-pack. There's also pictures of the instruction sheet, which I was alluding to just a minute ago, which goes over, how to finish transforming each of the individual toys to form Devastator. And from that, I actually learned something about the Bone Crusher I already have. There's a little tab that folds out of the treads. So you flip one of the feet over, and then you can tab that in, and it secures the treads together when you have the forearm piece
Oh, cool.
unfolded from underneath. So, like, I had no idea that was there. I didn't even know he had these driving claws. That's a deep cut back to the original Transformers Armada pack-in mini comics. Anyway, no, like, it was interesting to be able to get to look at the transformation instructions for the combined forms ahead of having the toys, just because like it does kind of give you a little insight into where the design sensibilities were with this, including things like, yeah, Mixmaster's arms are just supposed to be sticking back like that. Like that's when I saw that when I saw that picture of Mixmaster before this, I was thinking like, okay, that's just where somebody figured to put them to kind of have them, in a middle point where they're not like in the way or whatever. But no, that's actually just where they're supposed to go. It's kind of unfortunate. Also in here we have a picture of a half a Devastator basically. So we've got Hook and Long Haul together with the Bone Crusher arm on, and like it's shaping up pretty nicely, I think. I still really would like to have the offset adapter made that I've been talking about since we first saw the prototype of this, that would have the chest wing sit a little bit higher. I still think, seeing the way that this connects, that's a very easily doable thing for an aftermarket manufacturer, and just somebody's just going to need to like get these in hand and take the measurements and do it. But like I totally would be on board for adding that into this set, because that could be done for just a few dollars, honestly.
That'll be in the upgrade kit too.
Yeah, I think so.
There's going to be one, like DNA is going to do one upgrade kit for that, and that's going to be in it.
I'm positive Non-F is probably already like at least sketching out ideas for an upgrade package for Devastator and the Constructicons. Like they're pretty good toys as is, but there's always a little bit more that can be done. And for a set like this, I think there's the meat's on the bone to actually get return on the development investment on that.
Oh yeah, especially if they're gonna reuse these molds again, which they probably will.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we'll get some orange out of this at some point in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully.
I do like that, like, Long Haul was probably my favorite thing out of the Combiner Wars Constructicon set, because it was the one that it had the most variation from traditional Long Haul, and there was like a solid reason for it to be what it became. But I got to liking the idea of that, dense, heavy, like juggernaut shaped Long Haul that, like, yeah, he's the one that's just going to get up to speed and run straight through everybody, and like you're not going to be able to stop him until he's ready to stop. Like, I guess, unstoppable Juggernaut, yeah. I was trying to think for a minute if I was conflating Juggernaut and the Blob, but no, Blob is the unmovable, not the unstoppable.
Yeah.
But anyway, I like that some of that design language has persisted into Studio Series Long Haul. Like, this is definitely much more of a fusion of traditional Long Haul body design, but like there is that like squat, dense thickness to it to be able to hold up and be the lower body for Devastator. like I'm so glad to see that carried through to this extent. It makes me really happy that that's one of the things that's going to persist from the Combiner Wars design language.
Oh, he's the bruiser. That's for sure.
Yeah, I like it.
Yep.
It's weird to me too that like somehow Scavenger has ended up being the one that we have had zero coverage on up to this point. Like it's the last one unrevealed in any form. We know that they have a physical prototype of it because like we've seen a fully built, gray primer grade Devastator on streams and at shows, but like we know nothing about that toy at this point, and I'm really curious like where in the process it is for manufacturing, because like if they had any of those done at this point, they would have probably leaked out by now. So like that feels like Scavenger may be the last holdout on these, like more toward the end of this year. I think it is still going to kind of feel bad though to get this commander set in hand and get two toys that are roughly the size of Scavenger out of that, and then a whole third figure's worth of spare parts. Like
Yeah.
we've heard our share of complaints about like the commander value for Rhinox Prime, where you had a small leader or large Voyager size figure and that giant trailer that nobody seemed to understand the material value of. And like, I guess to a lesser extent with Motormaster 2, although at least that you kind of understand better the integration of all those parts. But like, yeah, I think people look at this being a Commander Class 2-pack, and I fear they may not be realizing what that actually means in practice when they are going to get these toys in hand.
Yeah.
That's going to be a box of 3 small things, and only 2 of them are actual Transformers.
Yeah, it was like I was talking to when Matt got Scrapper first. I was asking about did he feel the quality of the figure in that the hand feel and the engineering, and the money that's being used to make this series, especially in Mixmaster and Scrapper, I think it's going to carry over to Long Haul and Hook as well. We're not going to see, oh, there's the extra $15, there's the extra $10, because it's not anything tangible you can put your hand on other than a figure that has all the parts. When Devastator combines and he doesn't fall apart that second, then you can kind of see how he stands up, how he poses and stuff like that. But there's not tangible, like Hot Rod with all the extra stuff, Springer and all the extra stuff. This is going to be one of those, we got to go by fate that the combiner will be solid. That's where the extra money for the engineering has gone.
Yeah, and a solid build Devastator that is a compatible height with my other modern combiner toys, like that is going to do a lot for me to patch over what I feel like is some value disparity between some of these individual releases. Just like you said, having that, if once it's clicked together, if those parts are not coming apart for anything, like I will be very happy if it is that solid at the end of this. The Combiner Wars one, pretty damn good for holding itself together, but like I'm looking forward to something that's a little bit smaller and has the mass distribution a little bit different, so it also like balances a little bit nicer than that giant Combiner Wars one did. Like, yeah, this can do a lot in the final analysis to make up for some of the price point decisions that not all of us may agree with completely. And that I believe is the news for this week.
Sweet, cool. Okay, I'm checked out. Sorry, I'm researching like uncut sheets of Topps Garbage Pail Kids. Like,
Oh,
we
okay.
were talking about that. Like I'm thinking about like office decor, and I've always wanted an uncut sheet of like either baseball cards or Garbage Pail Kids. So I'm
I
looking
mean, like, yeah, like I could definitely see that. It'd be neat to have that and just frame it up on the wall. Like,
Yeah.
I totally get that. I don't know that there is a collecting card series that I would care enough about to like pursue that. Actually, you know what? For nostalgia purposes,
Alf.
maybe. No. When I was a kid, what I would buy was the packs of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cards. which they basically all consisted of just stills from the cartoon episodes
course.
with descriptions of the scenes on the back.
Like there were 88 cards in that set, like all the other top sets at that time.
So like I have nostalgia for that, and I think it would be cool if I could have an uncut sheet of those to hang on the wall. Like I don't even care what specific cards, just like that would be a neat thing because like that's my card collecting memory from my childhood.
Yeah, I've wanted
baseball. Screw that.
I've wanted an uncut sheet for years, and I'm just like, oh, my birthday's coming up. What can give me?
And you don't have a second mortgage anymore.
Exactly. Okay, speaking of that, let's jump to what we got this week. So I'll go first.
Yeah.
And as I explained in pre-show, I no longer have a second mortgage to pay, and I'm acting like a drunk sailor. So I have to stop. I have to
a little bit of celebration is expected and even justified, perhaps.
Yeah, but like,
but it needs to stop. Yes,
it needs to stop. So
don't tell him that. It doesn't need to stop.
So this week
he's not you, Diecast. He can't be doing this every week.
Yeah. So like, I don't buy a car every month. I just buy a house every couple years. So I have some stupid stuff coming next week, and like I should be done for a while. Done. Okay, but okay, I'll jump into what I got this week. And
yes.
I'm going to go in order of like what's important to me. So it may not be like what's most impressive to everybody else, but it's what's most impressive to me. So, okay. So I got a couple, Kim got me 2 of the Walmart kickbacks at Ollie's and 2 of the Perceptors at Ollie's. So I know I bought a case of Hot Rods and a case of Sound Waves. I can never get a case of Optimus Primes because they sold out. But like,
didn't you buy a bunch of Hounds too?
Maybe. I don't remember. Everything's in storage, but like I do have a goal of like having a online this year. Come hell or high water, I'll have an online Transformer store, and I'll get more into that here in a second. But so I got that. So something else I got. This is actually something that was relevant to the show, especially 8 years ago, 10 years ago. When was HasCon?
2017, 2018, 2017, I think.
Yeah, so 8 years ago. This was a big deal because it was the culmination of Don's life. It was Titan's Return RC. Now, I already had one of these, but what I don't have is a sealed one because I bought another sealed one to have Don autograph for a giveaway for the show. So,
right, I remember that.
Yeah, so this popped up on Transformerland last week, and again, as a plug, I'll plug them because I buy too much stuff from them. This popped up, and it like they were charging less for the sealed than I see it selling for like opened. Maybe because you can't see the toy in the box. There's a reason for that. There's like a trust, a trust thing. But yeah, I got that because I'm like, why not?
Was it more or less than a blind boxed watch?
It was like $10 more than an unblind boxed watch.
Okay.
Gotcha.
That's not terrible. Like for that or especially the Grotesque.
Yeah.
Like I think that Grotesque actually appreciated significantly in value.
Yeah.
I've seen both of those in shops in my travels just in the last year, in fact. And like there is a trust issue with that because like if you can't open that thing and verify what's in there, like how do you even know?
Yeah. I don't remember my child's birthday, but I remember where I was when I bought that Grotesque. I was in a Chinese restaurant in Matthews, North Carolina, and it popped up, and I'm like, holy crap, I need this. And I bought it. So I don't... Yeah.
So, was it a good Chinese restaurant?
Yes.
See, I don't know why when you go to Chinese for yourself, it's always nice places. But when you take me to Chinese, I feel like I'm going to get Ebola.
That just speaks to like where the conventions are typically. They're not always...
I'm sorry, no, not Ebola, E. coli. I want to be clear on that. E. coli.
That's Ebola's bloodborne, so like you'd have to get shivved or something for that to happen.
E. coli.
Yes. So, but like I guess it's like wherever like BotCons are, like they're not always in the best part of town, like the old BotCon. So
I guess the Chinese restaurant that we went to during ShardaCon weekend was okay. It wasn't amazing, but I felt okay with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So okay, I'll give you that one.
Okay. So next item. Okay, I mentioned. So I want to be like literally a goal for me is to have like an online store. That's something I want to do. A friend from work, she's a toy dealer. She and her husband, that's like what they do on the side is they sell toys, which is great because she was like, oh yeah, Brian likes Transformers. But how about Brian just gets first dibs on all the Transformers? I'm like, that's good with me. So, like I have set them with the expectation that I really only want sealed stuff unless it's G1. Then I'll take whatever. So I got 3 things that were sealed from her last week. The first was Armada Red Alert. Woo, woo, woo. So,
Wow.
yeah. So I have Red Alert, of course, but I don't have it sealed.
It looks
Now
like a nice condition box too.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Now you need the new one to go with it.
I already have the new
No,
one.
you don't.
I just don't. I have it. I just don't have. And the one that I have sealed as well, so they're a matching pair.
I think the original Armada Red Alert, even in the box, is a nicer toy than the new one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The other one, I'll go with the one that I like less of the 2. The other one was I have a mitten-box. I don't think it's mitten-sealed. Maybe it's mitten-sealed box. Car Robots, Fire Convoy. I don't have God Magnus, but now I have a mitten-sealed box, Robots in Disguise, Ultra Magnus.
Nice.
And it's really nice shape.
That is the best way to enjoy that specific toy.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
4 more things. So this one I already have. There's honestly a good chance that I already have a sealed one of these, but like everything is in storage, so I can't validate. But it's in my top 5 favorite toys of all time, so I bought it. It is a mitten-sealed box Armada Megatron.
All right.
Ooh.
All time favorite. It's an S tier toy. I love it.
It's such a good toy. Like, it is not a good action figure, but it is a good toy.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that is a distinction that I so want to stress with Armada toys. They are great toys. The majority of them are great toys. They're not action figures. They are just toys.
Absolutely. So the last 3 items. Keep in mind, I'm sharing these in the order of importance to me.
From least to most.
From least to most.
Yeah.
So the next is a mint unsealed card. Zeustra Diaclone pickup.
That packaging.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That is
So-
really cool.
Yeah. So it's beautiful.
Yeah,
and-
that packaging looks like perfect.
It's so good. And they shipped it in this acrylic case. So it's like it's display ready. And the card is just in great shape. I could have it graded if I wanted to.
That's like an AFA
it's like an
case
AFA case,
almost.
yeah, but it's not graded, yeah. So there's not that many Zeustra Diaclone toys, fortunately. So like if I wanted to, like after I finish G1, if I wanted to have like something else to go after, I could theoretically go after this. It's easier than going after like Takara Diaclone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And the packaging is so pretty on
packaging
those.
is so
Like
nice.
Zeustra packaging is my favorite. Just flat out my favorite Diaclone toy packaging of any variety out there. Like it is such beautiful package design, every single one of them.
Yeah, it's beautiful. The next to last thing that I got, it's loose, so it's complete. Even though I can't find the accessories now, they did come with them, so I misplaced them. It is a G2 turquoise Grimlock.
Yay.
Ooh.
I've never had the turquoise Grimlock. I have a sealed blue Grimlock, but not a turquoise. So, and it's in really nice shape.
The your webcam is not doing justice
Yeah.
to the actual color of that because
Yeah.
it looks a lot more blue on the webcam than
Yeah.
I know it is in real life.
Yeah.
That's
When
why
you
I was
pull
trying
it
to look
back, it's
over at
starting to look
mine.
Yeah. So I will tell you from my experience in photography that digital color space has a very, very difficult time with turquoise in particular because turquoise is like a bluish green and digital color space doesn't really go in that direction. Like you can get kind of along that line, but like there's a specific combination of hues that you need in like pigment colors to get turquoise, and digital cannot combine those two things together. The number values don't line up for that.
Yeah. What Chris said.
Yeah.
So the last thing I got
Sorry, I can't not be a photography nerd anymore than I can't not be an engineering nerd.
Yeah, so like you need to come over and photograph the last thing that I got. That's what you need to do. That's your next goal. You need to come here. This popped up on eBay, so yes, you can look it up to see how much I paid for it. But
I already know what this is, and I love this so much.
Yeah, I've never seen one of these in person. I have never encountered one on eBay. I've had it as a save search that I get it like an update for whenever something pops up, and it's always something else that just triggers the alert. So when I saw this, I thought, no, it's not that. I clicked on it. I'm like, holy crap, it's that. I've wanted this for years. Never seen one in person. Never seen one online for sale. And I swore to myself that I was going to get this. And when I saw it, I told no one. It wasn't like, hey guys, look what's on eBay. Because not like you guys would share it. It's like, oh, you might share. It's like, look at this. Then somebody else finds it. So like 4 people were watching it. And like nobody had bid on it till like the last 3 minutes. And then it went up by $300 in like the last 3 minutes. I got from the year 2000 the Checkers Rhinox, and it is sealed.
Ooh, nice.
Never seen one of these in person.
Wow.
Yeah.
Never even heard of that.
Yeah, no, it's incredibly obscure. So the fast food chain Checkers, which is also Rallies in some parts of the country, at least used to have kids meals. They still might, I don't know if they have toys for them anymore, but at one point in around 2000, they had a Hasbro promotion for their kids meal. So there was 4 different Hasbro property toys, and Transformers was one of them. So Rally's Rhinox, as it became known to the fandom at the time, was that Transformers representation. I'm sorry, please continue, Brian.
No,
I don't mean to step on your explanation.
You're good. You're good. So like as we were talking last night, it never really thought about it, but like he's based on Transmetal Rhinox. Clearly, when you look at it, it's a crappy toy.
It's one of the worst Transformers ever made, honestly.
It's very two-dimensional. It's very two-dimensional. It could be a cereal pack-in almost. It's not quite that. It's not quite that poor, but it's
Candace Strong put a picture of it in our Discord chat for the benefit of everybody else.
Yeah, and if like when I had Twitter before I deleted my Twitter, I would always like post.
Oh
pictures.
my god!
Yeah, I would always post pictures and like sneak something in, like in the background or whatever, as like a hint as to what I have. So last week I took a picture of mine and made it the eyes, zooming in on the eyes that will stare through you, and I made that my profile picture on Blue Sky.
I guess when Mrs. Potato Head told her husband to pack his angry eyes, that's now what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. So, like that could be the rarest thing that I own. And
really,
legitimately, Rally's Rhinox is one of the very rarest official Transformers products out there.
That's crazy.
It's licensed by Hasbro. It's an official Transformer, and it is probably one of the rarest Transformers around.
Realistically, I do have like a 1 of 100 official product sitting around. So that's
if you
rarer.
Well, if you take into account the number of these that probably got sent to landfills.
Yeah, or like in sealed copies, like my sealed copy of the Hill Crane Laserdisc. Like I can't imagine there are many of them out there.
And like you were saying, you've had a save search on eBay for years waiting for one of these to come up. They don't. Like, you have a 1 of 100 thing there that you legitimately know there was only 100 of those. There is probably fewer than 100 of these still existing in a sense where they could be circulated still. Yeah, I would not be at all surprised if we were looking at like mid to low double digits of these still out there to be had.
So I completed the entire run of the 85 St. Louis McDonald's Happy Meal toys in the time that I've been looking for that.
Yeah.
And that's like 24 toys.
Yeah.
And
that were distributed in like one city.
Yeah. So that's pretty rare. And it's not my highest grail. My highest grail is still probably like Grandis, I would say.
I mean, like, I guess we have different like sensibilities about the Grail ideal, because like you can get a Grandis if you spend enough money. Like
There's one
they're
on
out.
Mandarake right now for
Yeah, they're
400,000 yen.
they are out there. It's not a struggle to just find one to buy. This, you had to spend years
Yeah.
waiting for an opportunity to spend any amount of money on this. Like,
Yeah.
to me, this qualifies like this. If it was me, like, I don't have designs on getting one of these myself, but like, if I did, this probably would be my highest tier grail just because of you can't find them to buy them for any amount of money. Like, it's insane.
Yeah. So, yeah, I like toys, so I bought this one.
That's super cool. I know when we talked about this yesterday, you were like waiting to be judged for
yeah.
this being your like big thing, but like no, just like yesterday I said, when you revealed what this was, I was just sitting there like quietly, slowly nodding, like, yeah, that's perfect. That makes perfect sense. Like I totally get this.
Yeah. I don't think that I will ever search so long for something else.
No, probably not.
Did you have to set searches for both Checkers Rhinox and Rally Rhinox to find it?
Yeah.
Which one did it get listed under?
Checkers. Actually,
okay.
It came up as Checkers, so.
Okay.
Yeah, and if I want a Checkers Mr. Potato Head, it's like $10.
Right.
Sealed. So, yeah.
Apparently there was a lot more of those.
And apparently they reran that one, and they did that multiple times over the years. So
yeah, I mean it kind of makes sense to me that Hasbro would probably be more open to just relicensing the same Mr. Potato Head toy a few times, but not necessarily have. Well, it may also be too like they agreed to license Transformers to Checkers/Rallies and gave them some materials to work from in designing that, and just kind of left them to their own devices. And then they saw this, and it's just like never again.
Yeah.
We are never letting you have Transformers again.
So
that is the weirdest looking toy. It's just like
I just put in our internal chat. I'm not going to share this. What my max bid was for this. I was not going to lose this.
And honestly, like this is the first time I've learned these specific numbers. Like I swear to you, I did not go like searching eBay for this to find out. I was going to respect your privacy on that, but like the numbers you put in there are exactly the numbers I came up with in my head when you were describing. I should
have went buy it now. It went for like $70 less than the buy it now price.
Yeah.
But my max bid was well above the buy it now price because I'm an idiot.
Yeah. No, I mean at that point, like. Well, it doesn't matter. You ended up getting it anyway. You didn't pay as much as you were willing to ultimately pay if you had to. And like, it all worked out. But yeah, I mean, if you were willing to put in a max bid in excess of the buy it now price, you might as well just do the buy it now.
And I have to say, thank God for good credit. Yeah. Okay.
Well, if this is not the greatest abuse of good credit that I can think of, like, hats off to you. No, Brian, seriously. That is really cool. I think it's great that you got that and you got that checked off your list. And as I observed to you previously, you are now one of two people that I know 100% for a fact owns this toy.
Yeah.
The other is Dave Van Domelen.
I have to think that Rick Alvarez has one.
Yeah, probably so.
And the Hartmans.
Yeah, sure.
But I can't think of many other people. So
yeah,
maybe Tony Prito.
Okay, sure, yeah, that would make sense. I'm surprised that Don doesn't have it, but there wasn't like rallies here.
I mean, like
they're Checkers.
Don likes weird things, but I don't see Don being the kind of person who's like, I gotta go buy every kids meal toy that comes out.
Wait, there's what year again was
2000?
2000.
Okay, because I would have been in 11th grade. I had Checkers all around me, and I didn't even know about this. I didn't even know Checkers did kids meals.
I heard, was it somebody on the show last night? It was Sean.
Sean, I think,
who said that he went to several to find it and couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's possible that like participation in a kids meal system is a like location by location choice that may not be or may not have been universal across the Checkers and Rallies brands. But yeah, like I remember when this was an active promotion. Like, I remember people back then saying they were having a hard time tracking one down. So, like, even back then, it wasn't like you could just go to any Checkers, at any time during that promotion and buy your kid's meal and get this nightmare.
The best part is me thinking about the employees at the store when they did get one, and they'll be like, "This is what everyone's going crazy over." Like,
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, McDonald's got to have teeny beanie babies, and we get this.
Just to reiterate, though, this thing is a quarter of a century old.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And if you are a 5-year-old getting this toy, I would say maybe 3 or 4-year-olds is what this is made for. You're bumping 30 now.
yeah.
So this was a while back.
Oh
It
man.
never occurred to me to check All Toys Transformers to see who got one. I just searched for it and I found 9 posts about it.
Okay.
Yeah, and most of them. So Side Cutter had looked for one.
Hmm.
A couple other folks. Walkie.
Yeah.
Walkie
Walkie might have one actually. Yeah.
He says this is the best toy ever known to mankind.
Hmm.
That's so Walkie. Okay, so sweet. Okay, that's what I got this week. Diecast.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
Beat that diecast. I
Yeah,
dare
I
you.
can't. I can't. But I actually did not get this last week, but I pulled out something that I got that I keep forgetting to talk about. I got the GameStop CandyCon controller to where you can put different faceplates on it. Works with PC and Switch. So I got Jazz, and they were running a promotion. It was like buy the controller, get 3 faceplates free.
Oh,
And
nice.
I didn't realize this is not a faceplate because it comes with buttons too. So this is like more of an accessory pack. They didn't realize either, so they gave me the sale price. So I kind of donned that one. But I also got or no, it was buy one, get one faceplate free. So I got one faceplate free, and then these were buy one, get one like 50% off. So I got Devastator and also Hot Rod. So the only one I didn't get, I think it wasn't at the store, or I would have picked it up. It was probably like a Bumblebee or something. I forget what there's one I'm missing.
It might be Bumblebee. I do recall we talked about these last year, or if not late the year before, and like I my assertion at that time I think holds up. The Jazz is the best looking one for how the designs adapt onto a faceplate like that. But at the same time, like having a white controller is just like that's going to be nice looking for all of about 5 minutes.
Yeah, and the nice part is they're magnetic.
Oh,
So they're
cool.
really
That's
easy
easy.
to switch on and
Yeah,
off. It's not like you're gonna break clips when you're
that's
switching
good.
them.
Nice.
So it's not a bad controller. I haven't used it yet. I'm waiting on my Switch 2 to come in, and then I'll probably use it. But it's just something Transformers related that I picked up on a whim. So that's all I got.
I think we talked about that during the year in review as well. Honestly, I think
Probably, yeah.
I think it made it to that. That's the last time I remember talking about it.
Mhm.
Donald.
Yes, picked up 2 things on topic. I didn't realize this until I talked to a Wheeljack 64, but I didn't realize that the Bumblebee 116 was a brand new mold. I thought this was just a reissue of the original Bumblebee movie Bumblebee mold, but he said this is an all new mold, which I was not aware of. So I did decide to pick that up because I do think it looks real good, and it definitely is more Bumblebee than the Camaro to me anyway. So I picked that up. Second thing I got was Omega Prime. HasLab.
Sweet.
Did you watch my video, Don?
Yes, I
Oh,
watched your damn video. Okay, now I'm going to tell you, I spent the better part of 12 hours today on this one set. Mother 2 sets I have not touched. It took me about an hour to do the fix. Mine was, I don't think mine was bad, but when I sanded it, what I thought was appropriate and put it back together to test it, it would not extend all the way for Omega Prime mode. So I had to take it back out again. And at that point, I had two of the little teeth dented,
Mm.
whereas before they were not. So I was using one of my wife's nail buffers. I wasn't using like a hard surface emery board or something because I wasn't sure how much to take off. So I was just doing it gradually. And I finally got it to the point after about 45 minutes of testing and refitting because unless you put it back together and put the screws in there, that you really can't test it properly because you can't hold it and move it at the same time to get the right kind of feel for it. The fix was not hard. It was more just nerves. Time consuming. Well, anyone else that is more mechanically inclined and not terrified of breaking their expensive HasLab toy,
That's fair, I think.
would probably be able to do that much faster. As for someone that passed shop class with a high D, anything involving tools, I am very dubious about. I have very low confidence in my ability with tools. I think I can design stuff fine. I just can't make them. Don't play mousetrap with me. It will not go well. Um, the I am very tired. I spent all day on this one set. I still have two sets to go through to look and verify before I contact Hasbro. And I don't know. I wanted to get all three at least checked today. That did not happen. So I wanted to try to get them done as soon as possible because I now that I know I've got Omega Prime, I know that I think I'll be okay with the other two because they're going to be Optimus and Super Mode Optimus and Ultra Magnus is just regular. But I like him. I'm not going to go ecstatic and say he was worth waiting for because the problems this set has took away a lot of my enthusiasm. Not for one, what we paid and what we got with these issues, and two, the amount of emotional drainage I've had worrying about my sets and also having to worry about trying to fix them, as I said, with someone that does not have a great deal of confidence in their mechanical abilities. Also, Ultra Magnus is still frustrating. The regular robot to car and vice versa is not bad. It wasn't bad on the original. It wasn't very pretty, but it wasn't bad. This one requires very precise chunkage, movement of chunks to get everything lined up to go on top to make Omega Prime. Shout out to P-Y'all and Diecast for their videos.
Wow.
Because I mean, Diecast showed me kind of what to look for. And then P-Y'all had some pictures up in his video review of, again, same thing, different angles, just trying to get an idea of what's what. So I want to give credit where credit's due. Also, I want to give credit to I'm sorry. There's a person on I don't know what's wrong. Anyway, I'll give a shout out on someone on Blue Sky pointing me in the direction of the video fix that I used, and I'll repost it for anyone that needs it because it was extremely helpful, extremely clear on what exactly screws to remove, what exactly to sand. So that was very helpful as well. I like the Optimus Prime. I think it looks great. The thicker thighs are a little stand outish in regular robot mode, but again, it does help make Fire Convoy look a bit more proportional versus the original one.
And your thighs are probably a little thicker than they were 24 years ago too, so like it all kind of
it's all good. It's all good. What I do like is this thing tabs together extremely well. You have tabs upon layers of tabs upon layers of panels, and everything locks together. Now, I'm just going to show off an example. On the feet, it locks in on the front with the shin guard. It locks in from the side with the car carrier support structure. It locks in on the back with a panel. So you have multiple points of lockage that will keep stuff from flopping around.
Well,
Blue-
Don just kind of had his point undermined because something just fell off of his
Well,
Omega
that was-
Prime while he was trying to go to the next point.
That was Bluebolts who
Bluebolts does not hold on very securely. I handled Hey Mickey's Omega Prime this past weekend, and that was one of the weaker links.
yeah, I'll be honest. I'm seriously considering selling the Bluebolts for my other packages, trying to get a little of the money back because I have one and I think I'm good on that.
25 bucks, Don.
I'll take it under consideration. I'll give it all the consideration it deserves. But
Remember,
again,
I said 25, not 5. I actually did you a little respect there.
yeah. The worst part again was the Magnus cab lining up, getting it connected. That was the worst part. But again, it was me trying to see all these moving parts. But once you get it locked together, again, a lot of lockage points, even on this new version. If you remember on the original Ultra Magnus's, the remains of his arm, just kind of you position him to get him out of the way. They've actually engineered the arm stubs to fold up and compress and are hidden behind the Optimus Prime backpack butt flap, locked into place. So it actually, you don't have just arm pieces laying around anymore. Bluebolts is a disappointment as far as execution. Believe it or not, this is the first weaponizer I've opened up in a very long time. She doesn't hold together that sturdy like most weaponizers that I've dealt with. And I do have the Matrix blade. Very impressive, very pretty. But it doesn't stay together super solidly. It kind of wants to wobble a little bit, like the pieces don't quite connect securely. It's all based on sandwich. The hilt sandwiches around the staff, the handle, the top sandwiches in between the two pieces here on the bottom. And getting this into his hand to hold it is a god awful nightmare because the tabs line up, the tabs press in, the tabs don't stay pressed in. And if you move his arm, it flops right out of his hand. Again, it could be something I'm doing wrong, being a little tired after dealing with it all day.
It just sounds to me like how masterpiece weapons tended to be.
Yeah, it's just not. I would have liked to have seen something a little more solid, like, I don't know, maybe like an actual clip system where the back of the hand is a small C clip
Mm-hmm.
that can just plug in. I would have loved, like, you know how some third parties do the rail system in the back of the palm, that you slide it down into a rail instead of plugging into the side, you slide it into a rail in the back of the hand, and those are usually very secure. Again, it's just a matter of futzing with it to get it sorted out. Am I glad I got 3? I think once I get them checked out and get them on my display with my original RID collection, I think it'll look great. Right now, I'm very tired. I'm very exhausted emotionally trying to get this stuff together. I think he's a great figure, but we should not have to have these issues in a crowd-funded item we waited over a year plus for. And I am extremely disappointed that this stuff wasn't caught well before now.
Maybe it was
But,
caught and they just decided to go along with it.
Which is even worse.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of tariff anxiety on getting these things out. But having pieces on Optimus crack coming out of the box with nothing being done, I believe I've always been a supporter for Hasbro. in most cases, but I have called them out on a couple of their decisions in the past. I think we all have. We all love this line. We know that they are working under constraints as a business that third party will never have to work with. And people need to understand is they're giving us some of the best product they can under those constraints. But when you do a HasLab, you do crowdfunding, you wait a year and a half, you have a level of expectation that is not unwarranted. And for me, as someone who does not feel comfortable dismantling a $250 toy to fix it so it does not crack and fall apart, I shouldn't have to do this.
Yeah.
No one should have to do this.
As a consumer, I like and appreciate like understanding the process by which products get to me. I feel like that's a good thing to know. But at the same time, in terms of Hasbro's difficulties getting a fully functional product into my hands for the price they quoted me, as a consumer, that is not my freaking problem.
Exactly.
Right.
There's one, I have one small nitpick and one thing I love. On the original toy, you could take the small Optimus Prime pistol and put it on the shoulder in Godfire Convoy or in Super Optimus Prime mode, I should say. You can't do that. And I think it loses something of the silhouette. What I do love, the kneecaps are swing out pieces. So you get this detail from a little separate panel that goes right over the wheel. So you don't have a blinged out wheel in fire truck mode, but you do have this little swivel panel here that gives you the little bit of the relief there on the front, which I think is a nice little touch. So
Now,
it does.
correct me if I'm wrong, Don. I think on the original, the blinged out kneecap part was actually on the inside surfaces of the fire truck. Like the wheel, when you saw it from outside on the fire truck, was just a normal wheel and hubcap.
Yeah, it's actually on the inside on
Yeah.
that too. And the
Yeah.
weird part is they come flipped up. So in order to actually flip the panel out, you have to stick your finger up in there and try and flip the panel down, which there's not a lot of room.
There's not a lot of room, but I don't know. It just, for some reason, that is a nice little touch to give some detail. The whole disguise part that he's not driving around with blinged out hubcaps.
But he's not anyway. Like I said, on the original toy, the detailed surfaces were on the inside of the fire truck. You didn't see them in vehicle mode at all.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I guess I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
that was a total extra piece that a lot of people are saying they didn't need to put in there. Could have been.
Yeah, like I visited Hey Mickey last weekend. He has his Omega Prime. I handled it enough to transform it and put some of the parts together. Like I don't understand why those pieces are now separate moving pieces either. Don, I'm so happy that like fundamentally you're happy with your HasLab Omega Primes. Like for me, that's all I want out of this was for you specifically to be satisfied because you are the biggest Robots in Disguise, Optimus Prime, and by extension Omega Prime fan that I know to exist. So like, even if you had some struggles getting to the point where you can start enjoying it, I'm glad that you can look at that and find that you still have enjoyment in it. Like that makes me really happy. My take on it after having handled the set, I don't understand why this needs to exist. It does more in different things than the original toys do, but it seems to just be laboring in a circle. Like all the new and different things it doesn't actually accomplish anything. It's a lot of noise and spectacle, but no substance, essentially. I do appreciate that Omega Prime holds together more solidly than the original toys. They made an achievement with that, but like I was pleased for myself to handle the HasLab toys and feel no sense of loss or regret for not getting it myself because the vintage toys that I have that hypothetically, wherever they're packed away, are still okay. Like everything I could get out of that HasLab, I already got out of those toys.
Yeah.
And like,
I will be honest. If I had known, again, I think we can say this. All of us can say this. If I had known then what I know now,
oh sure,
I probably would have only gotten the two, and I would have been. I'm just saying in my head, I need regular Optimus. I
Yeah.
need I need Super Optimus, and I need Omega Prime.
Yeah.
The set, it would not have. I would have always kicked myself for not having it looked the way it needs to be on my shelf. But again, knowing then what I know now, I think I would have had and just bypassed the third one, which is why I'm thinking about selling the two other Bluebolts to help get some of my costs back. But
Right.
again, I like the set. I think it looks great. It was just a lot of frustration to get from there to here, and I'm too tired to really be hyped about it at the moment.
And Don made me think of something as he was talking about, the HasLabs and how, in the beginning, or even you said, Chris, they were showing us like how it was made and especially with like Unicron, I remember them spraying color on it and
they took cell phone video inside the factory where the toys were being finished and assembled.
Yeah, they're getting away from all that with the
Yeah.
HasLab, which kind of makes me sad because I liked seeing that extra production that we don't normally get with our everyday
Well, I think
Hasbro toys.
I think with the issues we're having with this Omega Prime set, you will see that with Lyle Kaiser as them trying to get back in fans' good graces.
I don't know if I agree with that because Victory Saber was a huge mess, as we all remember, but they didn't do anything special with the coverage of Deathsaurus to try to, correct
That's true.
from that. So,
That's
I
very
don't think
true.
that's really on their radar. To Diecast's point, I know we need to move on because we're running a little bit long here. I just want to say, the Unicron coverage and even some of the early Star Saver stuff was remarkable because they were showing us, images of the steel mold and the CAD layouts for the mold elements, which that's bordering on trade secret level stuff for how they design those layouts and stuff. It was amazing that they showed us any of that stuff. Anyway, Don, do you have any other stuff or are we good?
No, just I get why everybody is upset, and again, I think I may have gotten off good on this one copy. Just it's kind of hard to enjoy it to get to this point with what I had to do.
Well, probably between now and next week, you'll find your full enjoyment of it again.
Chris,
Oh,
you just run with it.
I believe so.
Chris, just take it over.
Okay, John, did you get anything this week?
Yes. Hey, two quick things. One, I think we got so much background information or insight on Unicron because Hasbro and Takara themselves were amazed by Unicron. Like even they can't believe this is happening. So they were probably in a sharing mood because they were genuinely blown away by it. And I think Omega Prime gets into a lot of trouble because for whatever reason, they were too beholden to the engineering of the original toy.
Mm-hmm.
And that in itself created problems, and no one was necessarily asking for that. So they should have just had a little bit more freedom from an engineering standpoint. But whatever. And I think to your point, Exvee, that plays into the why is this a thing? Because there's very little kind of just, I don't know, exploration in it to exist.
Yeah, that's a great way to look at it.
The only thing I got and opened was Age of the Prime's Tripticon. He's awesome. He's beautiful. It's another thing that I don't know why this exists, but at least he's really good looking. Extremely good looking.
He's so beautiful, and it's like I have one that's still literally. I took him out, looked at him, put him back in the box. It was right before our move. He's still in the box, and it's like,
yeah, I know. That's all I got though. He's great looking, but that's it. that's the review.
I feel like there's a stark difference in levels of I don't know why this exists between a straight recolor of something that they'd already invested in a few years ago and making this entire whole damn ass new toy that's just a retread of these 25-year-old toys. But that's just me. Anyway, Rob, do you have anything for us?
Nope, nothing on topic.
Okay, then I guess it's up to me. So I did go visit with Hey Mickey. We took a day trip down to Atlanta and hit a few stores down there and on our way up and back as well. I'm gonna go through this kind of quickly here. So I got from this place called Second Chance Toys in Marietta, Georgia, You remember the Legends of Cybertron toys, the little Cybertron like Legion class versions of the main cast characters. So there's like the Hot Rod or Hot Shot and Optimus and Starscream and everything, the
Yeah.
little teeny tiny ones. So they got a lot of mileage out of that Legends Starscream mold. And I saw one of the many recolors of that in a baggie at the store. So I got the little legend size Sunstorm. Unfortunately, it is a Hasbro Sunstorm, so it's yellow primarily instead of orange. But like, I love that little Legend Starscream mold. Our one of our old IRC friends, Swift Eagle, actually got a few of the Hasbro booth giveaway Skywarp colors ones from an SDCC or something one year, and sent me one of those. And that was like my like go-to fidget toy at my desk for a great number of years. Like I love that little mold. And when I saw that and it was the Sunstorm one, like I had to have that. That was $15, which was a little bit more than I would really want to pay for one of those toys, but like it was cool. And like I already knew I was going to buy something else there anyway, because the shop had also had come in a couple of bootleg Micromaster combiners. So I have a bootleg 5-wing. Yes, 5-wing, because the set only came with 5 of the Micromasters. The backpack jet was not part of the set, but it has the full combiner parts and everything. So right now that's just kind of chilling out in its extremely bootleg state with its kind of off colors and really bad tampograph printing on it. The stickers are actually surprisingly one of the best parts of it for being bootleg stickers. One of the things I'm kind of looking at as a possibility with this is digging out my official Universe 2004 Micromaster aerial bots, because the Universe Superion Micromaster set had gold plastic for the pelvis and thigh piece for the combiner, and that started breaking like a year after those toys came out. So if I can even just like replace that element of the official Micromaster aerial bots, like that's worth the $5 that this bootleg cost. Even just sitting there by itself, like $5 for a bootleg Micromaster combiner, it's such a fun novelty to just randomly run across one of those. And I decided that, well, I could say I paid $15 for that Legends Sunstorm and $5 for this bootleg, or I could say I paid $10 for each. I'm fine paying $10 for that bootleg, and $10 is a much more palatable price for me for one of those Legends class toys. So that's my special version of Dononomics. If I don't like the price of one toy, I'm just going to take some from the other one and say, no, this is what I paid instead.
Yeah.
Mm.
And that mold is what they were giving out at one of the bot cons, and
Maybe it was a BotCon booth giveaway.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
and the cool thing is I got 3 of those because they were just giving them out towards the end
Yeah.
of the show, and I got $60 in trade from a vendor, which enabled me to get Cybertron Defense Red Alerts, basically for free, which would
Cool.
trade in from those ramjets.
Oh, Ramjets. Okay, yeah. I've seen the Ramjet one. I don't have one of those. I'd love to get that too, though.
I may have a couple of spares if I can find them. I don't know anymore.
Well, if you run across those one day, let me know. I'd be interested in working out something to pick one up off of you.
Okay.
Let's see. So also in that trip, we stopped at an Ollie's. I found the one and only retro collection reissue Perceptor that Ollie's had. It was the only one of those Transformers reissues that store had. Just Perceptor, one Perceptor alone, no kickbacks or anything else there. So I picked that up. I would only come to learn later that the microscope function of the G1 Perceptor toy was not maintained in this reissue. I actually looked this up on the wiki, and they document that they did not include those elements correctly in this version of the toy, which is, yeah, it's a bit of a sad trombone element. Although I could go and start looking for a vintage Perceptor that has its scope, because that's a removable piece. I could get just a junker that has that in good condition and swap that onto this body if I really wanted to have that part work. So like this isn't a tragedy, and in the meantime, like the cartoon inspired colors on this look so pretty. Like the shades of these colors just suit this mold really well. I would love for the dials to be chrome like on the original toy, but I understand for what they were going for, that would not have really made sense. They look a little bit sad in just the flat medium gray plastic, but like, you know, you kind of take what you can get. And for $10, I'm not going to complain overly much about that anyway. There is an antique mall that Hey Mickey and I visit basically every time I go and see him. There's a couple of pretty good booths there with toys, and there's one in particular I almost always buy something from when we go. So this time what I picked up there was Robots in Disguise 2015 from the Combiner Force sub-branding of the Robots in Disguise Warrior-class line, which was the tail end in 2017. I got Warrior-class Skywarp, which is just a straight redeco of the Starscream that was released in 2016, I think,
That's
as a
a
Toys R Us
really good
exclusive.
mold.
It's pretty okay. Like as compared to some of the other Warrior class molds that it was contemporary with, it's kind of on the lower end. Like it was doing something very different from the other Decepticon toys in that lineup, and I totally acknowledge what it's doing. Like it's not a favorite, but I recently decided that like a thing I want to focus more on in my collecting is not like just amassing more and more new current things, but like I want to go back to lines that I like a lot and like work on finishing those off. Robots in Disguise 2015, the Warrior class segment of it specifically, is something that I love a lot. Like I could have had that line go on for another like 3 or 4 years if they had just kept developing and making toys the way they were by the time that line ended. So I'm working on going and filling in some holes in that. So Skywarp was one because I didn't like at the time I didn't really feel a need for that because there were other Seeker toys kind of in circulation then. The Starscream mold was just kind of an okay thing to me. It wasn't a high priority and I never got around to it. I also bought Warrior class Soundwave, which was from, again, one of the last assortments of the Combiner Force sub-branding. So Soundwave is a completely new mold. It's, of course, like designed in the style of War for Cybertron Soundwave or Fall of Cybertron Soundwave. I've never had this mold or handled this mold before, and like transforming it for the first time, I was really surprised like how complex the engineering is for like what you would expect on the surface of it to just be like a simple mainline deluxe equivalent toy. Like it had a lot more twists and turns and like sliding pieces and everything. Like for what could have just as easily been a Diaclone style unfold the legs out of the back and stand it up kind of transformation, like it's doing a lot of stuff to change the shapes from the vehicle mode to the robot mode and give you something that like it compacts in a little bit more and just kind of has more of unique identity to how it looks in both modes. Like I really appreciate how many extra steps this took more than what it really needed to accomplish what it was doing. Both of these I bought loose. They were $12 each, which like is a very fair price for any of the Warrior class toys because like they retailed for 15, and that was almost 10 years ago. Soundwave does seem to be a little worn in places. Like the when you transform it, there's a panel that the head is on that you flip around, and it's on a like friction fit hinge, and that hinge is very loose on this copy, which I assume is just from age and being transformed multiple times. I'm I could take that apart and probably get some floor polish in there and tighten that back up and it'll be fine. Just right now it's kind of a bobblehead situation going on with it, which I don't think is how the toy originally was when it came out. I did some research and could not find anyone making reference to that panel being like flopping around the way mine is. So I think that's something I can take care of when I get around to it. And otherwise, I really, really like this toy, and I kind of wish I would have picked it up when it originally came out. But again, at the time, I wasn't thinking in the same terms about it, and like, no, I have other Soundwave toys. I don't need to get this one too. Like, what am I going to do with this? But no, I'm really glad to have picked this up, and like I'm looking forward to like digging in a little bit deeper on the Warrior class toys that I didn't grab the first time around. Some of them are just like redecos of molds that I already have. There aren't like a ton of unique molds in this lineup, but there is like a few. There's like a solid couple waves I think I missed outright, and then a few just like random pieces scattered in each wave that I would have passed on at the time and never came back around to. So this will be a nice little like side project for the near future here. Let's see. Did I get anything else Transformers related? I don't think so. I think that's all of my on topics.
Cool. Okay, let's jump to Ham Sandwiches, the off-topic portion of this extremely long episode of Radio Free Cybertron with only 3 news items.
Yeah, I know. Looking at the show notes, it's like I thought we were going to be done by like 9:30.
Yeah. So Ken had multiples of all 4 Ghostbusters from the Fright Features Kenner Vintage Retro Collection. So I already had them, but they were cheap, and now I have a set I can open. So I got all 4 of those. I'll probably take those to work, so the people at work will think I'm even more of a loser than they already do. So that was what I got this week. That was off topic. Diecast, what about you?
Oh yeah, I got a bunch of things. I got
Oh no.
I got Dr. Mindbender, the classic
Oh crap!
one.
I got stuff too. I got
wow.
Leech. I got Leech, Catra, and Faker from the animated
Origins.
Origins animation version. And
But I think this is one of my favorites. Did you get Classics Rock and Roll?
I need
'Cause
classics rock and roll.
Mine is on the way.
Classics Rock and Roll is just cool. I really like him.
I mean, and I thought the classified version looked really good too, but I mean, the classic one does kind of. It looks better plainer, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, yeah. And then I also got Legend Series X-Men 97 Cyclops, because I missed out on him the first round when he came out, because I was only interested in a couple figures in this wave, so I didn't order the full wave, and I ended up missing him.
So I'm certain we've talked about these in the past, but this is the first time I've really looked at the card art for that. That's like the best, like retro card art from Marvel Legends ever.
Really
it's
good.
nice.
Yeah, it's. See, that's it's that I just got Gambit and Rogue from that wave, but I love the card art.
I mean, I do have to stand up for the Spider-Man and Iron Man retro stuff, just because like
Oh yeah,
well,
I like that
it just
better.
it's well, for me it's just the nostalgia of those are the toy line versions from like,
Oh,
when
yeah.
I got introduced to the stuff, in 96 or whatever.
Like I should love the Secret War stuff, but I don't. Like that looks awesome.
Right.
yeah.
No, that it is really good packaging design. Like you are not wrong at all. I have my nostalgia goggles for the Spider-Man and Iron Man lines.
Yeah. And then speaking of Spider-Man, the last thing I got was Black Suit Spider-Man from the Spider-Man 2 Gameverse. I don't know.
Gamerverse, yeah.
It's a black Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It's a Venom type Spider-Man.
Yeah. I think that looks better. Well, it's the aesthetics, I know, but I did see the Tobey Maguire black suited Spider-Man, and it was like, I think I'm good with the one I got. I got the one that came out a couple of years ago with just the 2 pair of hands, but I sold the BAF part for like $10, something like that.
Yeah. That's all I got off topic.
Don?
Yeah. Well, speaking of card art, I bought the second ROM that I've only seen because I wanted one to open. And just like Diecast, this card art, they need to do this on every Marvel Legend from now on. Maybe not include the comic book. That's a little on the nose. But I think it's cool that some of the promotional pictures has Rom reading his own comic. But I think this is some of the best Marvel Legends packaging they've done since the Toy Biz era, because it just looks stunning, and I really would like to see more of this done. Off topic, superhero wise, I got y'all remember a couple months ago I got Captain Carrot from the Zoo Crew.
No.
Okay, well I did. I got Captain Carrot.
Well, good for you, Don.
Yeah, through a McFarlane filter. Now I have the glow in the dark version. That's an Amazon exclusive. So now I can find my Captain Carrot in the dark.
Is that a problem? Like in general?
Well, it depends on where Hank has drug him. So there's that because Hank will in the middle of the night jump up on stuff and start looking for treasures to steal.
So is Captain Carrot like the arch nemesis of Banicula, or like how does that work?
That's the JLA, the Just a Lot of Animals. I don't know their villains roster that well. A couple of I got 2 Super 7 figures. I got off eBay a Cobra comic blue bat for $20 shipped, loose and complete. They go for about 35 to 40. So he's gonna be my bat commander. And I got thanks to us, well, not thanks to us screw up from Amazon, I finally got Gung Ho. And I didn't pay retail for him by any means. So I just think that's a good looking figure for a Super 7 figure. And the last
You
thing
could
I
say
got,
you're kind of gung ho over it.
yeah, I mean it's just I just think it's a nice looking figure. And the last thing I got was Sagat. And
That doesn't look like Bob Saget.
yeah, well, I was gonna make that joke, but I figured y'all would groan and not so I decided not to do
No,
it.
instead I just beat you to it.
Yes, you did.
Ha-ha!
But I was not expecting to see these in stores at all for a very long time because the pre-orders haven't even been filled yet. And I walked in my local Target that's doing a heavy remodel. They're becoming I guess the equivalent of a Big K with groceries and stuff. And he was just sitting there laying down in the middle of the pops. No Blanca, but I went ahead and picked him up because he's only $1 more than BBTS. So
How much was he?
He was $30.99. My target is going. I've seen price increases because it's like that Thor statue from McFarlane was $49. It's now $51.99, and the Bat Pod, well, that was $69 is now $73. So I am seeing some price increases at Target on other things as well. I think like some of the reaction stuff have gone from $20.99 to $21.99 on some of them. But yeah, I'm really glad to have found him. He's because remember, John, I was asking you about with them being about $5 more than the regular. Are they going to be that much bigger? Yeah, there's a lot more mass in these than your regular Street Fighter figures. And I love the fact when it's packaging, he has like 3,000. He has 34,000, life points, and whoever he's fighting has 5,700. So that's Sagat.
A
That's
lopsided there.
Yeah, that's Sagat. But that's all I got off topic
What
this
are
week.
life points? Is that not just points?
He's conflating Street Fighter with Yu-Gi-Oh again.
Okay.
Now,
John,
there's a crossover that would be interesting.
John.
Nothing for me.
Okay. Rob.
2 things. First off, thank you to Bandai Namco Entertainment America. They set me up with a copy of Gundam Seed Battle Destiny for Steam. That is a digital-only release of a remaster of a PlayStation Vita game that's never been in English before. That series is really good. I played a few of the Art Dink Studios Gundam games before. They're really nice. So happy to see that coming out here. And there will probably be videos up on my YouTube channel in a few days. Other than that, when I got done with last week's show, I go out and on the table is an Amazon package containing a book I had ordered, Dr. Mashirito's Ultimate Manga Technique. This is basically how to make manga book by Kazuhiko Torishima. He was Akira Toriyama's original editor on Dr. Slump and the first half of Dragon Ball. He was also good friends with Yuji Horii and Hironobu Sakaguchi from Enix and Squaresoft, respectively, and is basically the person who set them up with Toriyama and why we have Dragon Quest and Chrono Trigger. Yeah,
Pedigree.
Yeah, he was also editor-in-chief of Shonen Jump after that for, I think, fairly obvious reasons. So. Yeah, it is a book on how to make manga. It is very specific to the Japanese format and industry. I swear I just skimmed it, but I swear there's there's section on like contract negotiations. So yeah, this man has been in the business forever. He knows the whole thing. There's also, more relevant to my interests, interviews with Masakazu Katsura, Toriyama, and I cannot remember the name of the artist of Dragon Quest Adventures of Dai, but also him. So yeah, interesting looking book. It came out in English. I'm really happy to see it. And yeah, outside of Dragon Ball Daima, it's also one of the last things Toriyama contributed to, so I wanted to have that. So, and that's all I got.
Matt, just kidding.
Matt's not-
I know.
Okay.
I know.
Matt
Yeah.
also told me before pre-show started that he didn't have anything this week anyway.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Matt's internet dropped, so he's probably
He's
watching now.
he's having storms there, so
Maybe I'm assuming he's watching now. Hopefully he's laughing mightily. Chris.
only off-topic thing I got was from the Antique Mall again. That same booth with the Transformers also has Star Trek toys in general. So I picked up a Playmate Star Trek Voyager, the Doctor, mint on card. Well,
All right.
maybe not quite mint, but sealed on card. The bubble's yellowing somewhat. My greatest takeaway from this, like, it was $5, by the way, which is, the typical price that one should pay for a Playmate Star Trek figure. The likeness to Robert Picardo on this, for a toy that was made in 1995 or 1996, like, the likeness is strikingly good. The actor likenesses back then, like, for the time period, the likenesses in the Playmate Star Trek toys were pretty okay in general. But like this Robert Picardo face on here is just like surprisingly good. But yeah, that's gonna just live on its card forever. Like that's one, just like the midway to being a Salamander Tom Paris figure that I got a year or two earlier. Like those are ones that may eventually just like live hanging on the wall as trophy pieces. But Star Trek figures are fun to collect because they are so cheap and they are so plentiful, especially like the earlier ones. You can get those anywhere for often just a couple of dollars each. It's a great thing to jump into if you just like want a vintage toy line to start collecting without having to like make a huge investment in that. Now, if you want like vehicles and play sets from that line, like that's where you're going to start spending your money. But if you just want to get like a bunch of the action figures, like you can do that on all kinds of cheap if you just like know the right places to look. But whether or not I already have a figure of the Doctor, I don't think I do, but like I have no complaints about having a spare because it's Robert Picardo's The Doctor. Like that was one of the best characters in Star Trek and certainly the best character in Star Trek Voyager. So, I made good choices on this trip.
You did. Cool. I want to thank our patrons at patreon.com/tfradio. Patrons of Radio Free Cybertron get an ad-free version of the show. You get it a day early at a higher bit rate. And that's Radio Free Cybertron, even though we do tend to post everything at a higher bit rate. It's not guaranteed. Chris, heads up for There Goes My Money, by the way. You get a complete What We Got This Week segment on the podcast, including non-Transformers content. You get a weekly Patreon exclusive pre-show podcast. And you also get an unedited version of RFC if we make major edits, like hums and haws, and Brian bumping his microphone isn't like something that we would do an unedited version of. But last week, like shutting Dawn down, that I might have a Dawn joke or two that get removed from this one. So I think there may be an unedited version of this show. We'll see. You get a fancy color on Discord, red for Touched, purple for all other patrons. Touched patrons get to be on There Goes My Money. Everybody else gets to hear the podcast a week early if you're a patron. And Touched patrons are mentioned on the show each week and listed at tfradio.net/credits, which I'll do in a second. I'm also thinking of like different things that we could do, other perks that we can add to our Patreon. I've been doing a lot of thinking about that lately. Like, what can we do that would not be, like a huge lift for us, but would add value to the patrons?
Right.
And I think there's a couple options that I'm going to play around with maybe later this year. But with that said, I do want to thank our patrons again, those who are touched, the touched folk at tfradio.net/credits. Kevin Dorsey, Sent the Proto, Mollis Koenig, Daniel Scott, Nathan's Fast Talk Food Reviews, Trickster, Here's Why It's Cool, Ryan Bona, Emmett Stresovich, Rabbits, Hector Bones, Joey Russell, Sean Williamson, Spider Bob, Sean Hamilton, and Sean Bratton. Thank you all so much. You're awesome. And if you want to be part of these esteemed folk who got to hang out with me and Chris last night, for those who opted to, on There Goes My Money, go to patreon.com/tfradio and sign up for the touched tier, but you can sign up for whatever tier. It's fun. You get all those other perks that we mentioned that go out to everybody, including like the unedited episodes and things like that. So patreon.com/tfradio.
So do I need to turn the bitrate up on There Goes My Money or down on There Goes My Money? Like, I'm not sure where you were going with
Let's say
that.
96 kbps. I would say
For the high bitrate version?
Yeah, you can just do one version. 96 kbps is probably fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that way.
That saves me like 20 seconds of uploading, I guess.
Okay, you can do 2. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, you can go to tfradio.net to find all of our stuff going back 25 years. All the podcasts, all the stuff. You can find me personally at briankilby.com, and I'm going to be doing some more stuff soon on my other podcasts. Haven't done like the Happy Daily or anything in a while. Just haven't been in the mood due to some family things going on. But I think
It hasn't been a happy day in Wilkes.
Has not been a happy day in Wilkes, but I think it's going to be soon. So,
good.
briankilby.com. You can also find me personally at kilby.bsky.social. I'm trying to be more active on Blue Sky. I can get my follower count up. So I just posted like a really awesome picture at kilby.bsky.social. You should go follow me there. I'm also on Instagram at Brian Kilby, and I think that's it. Rob Springer, not here. He is at Robo Springer on Twitter, at zonebase.org, and at zonebase.bsky.social. Melvar, not here. He's on Blue Sky at Melvar, which is 3 L's and 2 R's. Melvar. Diecast, how do people get a hold of you?
They can get a hold of me on Twitter and Blue Sky at Diecast2. You can like my reviews on my Facebook page at Reviews by Diecast. You can you can see some of my reviews on tfradio.net/reviews or youtube.com/RFC reviews. And I think that's it. I might have forgot something, but
Probably
that's
did.
fine.
That's fine. Don.
I'm reached on Twitter at HMRC, the number 4 EVR. I can reach on Blue Sky at HMRC, the number 4 EVR.bluesky.social. Also have an Amazon wish list. If anyone would like to look at anything on there, I do have a birthday coming up next June 21st. I'll be 55. But there's also a lot of things on there for Hank as well. So if anyone wants to take a look at that, it's tfradio.net/donlist.
When's Hank's birthday?
Hmm?
When is Hank's birthday?
Hank's birthday, when we got him in May, the vet said he was probably about a month old, and that was like May 2nd. So we made April 1st his birthday.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, you might want to start pushing that when his birthday's coming up for the kitty wish list.
Yeah.
I just added Don in an I Can't Drive 55 t-shirt to his list, by the way. So, and I accidentally posted something in your wish list earlier, Don, that I was trying to add to mine, so I deleted it. So if you got a notification.
Thank you.
But that shirt will look nice on you on the show.
Yeah, as long as it's not the assless chaps.
It's not the assless chaps.
Thank
John.
you.
That John D everywhere except for Cloudburst, which is what I'm at on eBay.
Have you put anything up lately, John?
No, I'm falling behind, man. Oh, actually, no, that's a lie. I put a couple of random things up there for I think Transformers Animated, but I need to get back to putting stuff up regularly for sure.
Ooh, okay, you still have the record that posted. Oh yeah, I need to add these back to my wish.
Oh yeah, hey, the other thing too is I'll just give everybody, well, actually, friends and neighbors and family members might scoop this up early, but I'm considering selling the rare, like store exclusive and weird decos of Transmetal stuff. So, or like the Armada versions of Transmetal Cheetor and those guys that came with mini cons and things like that.
Like if you
Thinking
said,
about it.
If you said that you had a green Rambulus, I would be like, Like,
I know you would.
I'm driving to Dallas
Yeah, I know.
right now.
I know.
Yeah.
I guess
I
that
know.
was technically a store exclusive. It was exclusive to the Hasbro company
Sure
store in
was.
Providence. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so question for Brian: do you have that in your saved searches?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Honestly,
And
like,
the
How
blue,
could he not?
yeah,
Yeah.
the blue Optimus Miner.
yeah,
Yeah, I have both of those saved.
like Green Ramulus never did a ton for me, but Blue Optimus Miner genuinely looked really nice. That would be
Yeah.
cool to have come out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rob.
I can be found on Blue Sky at robflails.bsky.social. Come for the Gundam speculation and memes, leave for the everything else. I am on YouTube at youtube.com/flailthroughs. I cover Gundam games, mostly Gundam Battle Operation 2, which is heading up on, I think its 8th anniversary this July or August. Yeah, it's still going, which for a live service game is pretty impressive. They now have 500 separate mobile suits in that game. I'm also
Damn.
like I said before, I'm also going to be covering a little bit of Gundam Seed Battle Destiny because that looks like a fun game. If you like what I'm doing over there, patreon.com/flailthroughs, you can support the channel. You can make requests in GBO2. Details are on the Patreon page. And if you just feel like sending me something, I have a wish list set up like everybody else's at tfradio.net/playlist.
Very cool, Chris.
Find me in our Discord server, tfradio.net/Discord. We didn't do a very good job of plugging that tonight, which we, should have been more on top of. But like, we've been having some good interactions with our Discord audience during the live show here, and just in general, I love hanging out with our Discord crew. Great bunch of people we have as regulars. My favorite place to talk about Transformers and other stuff like that. Definitely come check things out, hang out with us. We're really chill, and like, we don't like ever have like any kind of blow ups or anything. Like, it's very self-moderating.
It's been a while.
Seriously, I'm so grateful for just like the quality of community that we've built in our Discord server. So please come and join us and be part of the cool kids crowd.
Yeah, come and knock on their door.
Yeah,
We're waiting
Don.
for you.
Nice.
My website is at playwithphotography.com, and my Amazon wish list is tfradio.net/chrislist.
Cool. Hey, that's it. That's everybody.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week. Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Take care, all.
Recording
Oh
stopped.
crap! I didn't record it.
That joke doesn't work so well when
After
the
it
Zoom
tells
thing
you.
literally just
recording stopped. So what else came out? So Cheetor was Rhinox one
Oh, the Armada Beasts?
Air Razor,
Air Razor, Rhinox, Cheetor, Transmetal Megatron came out as a Voyager with 2 minicons.
Yeah, 2 cars. Just hilarious.
But he wasn't Megatron. He was Predacon.
Predacon.
Yeah.
I've
got him somewhere.
and Terrorsaur.
too.
There's an Armada Terrorsaur.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, they're like 10 feet from me, but they're in a bin.
How-
Anyway.
like how clear are the bubbles?
Oh, pristine. It's all pristine.
If you sell it, let me know.
They look sealed. Like opened with a razor. Because we were all 22, 23.
Yeah.
So I mean, we weren't kids back then. We knew what we were doing.
Yeah. Hey, people watching live, it's really late, so I'm going to kill this.
Sure is.
Bye, Twitch.
How did this happen?
I like Cheetor in particular because his added minicon ports are on the little fold out boosters. So you
Yes.
stick a rocket directly on the front of it.
Shoot.
Yes.
By YouTube. I forgot that they added minicon ports.
Yep.
Yeah.
Predacon